Hey guys, and welcome to my Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls Fire Crusader guide. In this guide we will go through the gear choice, stats, Paragon Points, skills, passives and the gameplay. We will start with our gear, which makes this build even playable. The main focus is our legendary weapon called Maximus. With this weapon you have a chance to spawn a demon who will fight for you. The important aspect is that you and your demon are binded with a fire chain. Those do a hell of a damage and will be your primary damage source. The main focus on the Fire Crusader gear is plus fire damage and increased blast hammer damage. If you got items like Little Wall, Andariel's, Mage Fists and so on, you will be able to get more than 100% increased fire damage. But please don't make the mistake to skip your primary stats like strength, crit hit damage just for a few increased fire percentage stats, because you will deal less damage in total. The more main stats you get on an item, the better. Now we will spend our Paragon Points, which should be 10% increased movement speed and the rest in strength, except you got boots with 10 or more % movement speed. As we do wield a two-handed weapon, we can't get beyond 10% increased movement speed anyways. On the offensive tab we will go full crit hit chance and the rest in critical hit damage. On defense tree we are going to max all resistance and the rest in percentage life. And last but not least, life on hit maxed out, with resource cost reduction reduced the second stat. Now we're going to take a closer look at our talents and passives. Our main attack will be Slash with Carve Rune for more cleave damage, or Guard Rune for increased armor if you lack survivability on higher torments. Our spam attack will be Blast Hammer with Burning Wrath Rune, so all our attacks are based on fire damage. If you don't like to play with Blast Hammer, you can also take Sweep attack with Blazing Sweep Rune for better cleave damage on champions and rare packs. Our next spells are basically roots and increased damage abilities for our fire chains. We start with Shield Glare to blend an enemy for 4 seconds. Rune will be Divine Verdict to do 20% increased damage on blinded enemies. Our second spell will be Judgment with Resolved Rune. Judgment will immobilize targets for 6 seconds, and with the rune we got 80% increased crit chance on judged targets. Now you can choose between attack speed aura for more DPS or a defensive aura for better survivability in higher torments. Rune is kind of personal preference, but I choose critical rune for maximum DPS output in Shield Glare and Judgment. Our last spell is Akarat's Champion. This spell increases our attack speed by 25% and 100% increased wrath regeneration. If this spell is active you could receive a fatal blow, but will get back to full HP after. Rune wise it's a personal preference as well, but I took the Prophet rune for an insane toughness boost against hard packs. Oh, and by the way, you could skip the aura and take Steed Charge with Nightmare Rune if you have problems getting behind champion packs, but for me the spell has a too high cooldown, and so I decided to take a useful spell for the group instead. Let's take a look at our passives. A must-have is Heavenly Strength to wield a two-handed weapon with a shield. The next passives are really personal preference, but I took Divine Fortress because I have a shield with 20% block chance. This will increase our total armor by 20%, which is also a sick toughness boost. If you have a low block chance shield, you could also go Wrathful or Renewal for better life gain. Our next passive is Blunt for 20% increased blast hammer damage, and with my current gear I'm running 50% increased blast hammer damage. If you decide to play with Sweep attack, then you can of course skip this passive. My last passive is Finery because it gives you 70 extra strength for each socket in your gear. Enough theory, let's take a look at our gameplay. If you attack, you have a chance to spawn a demon, right? If the demon spawn, you will basically just split walk enemy through your fire chains. That's fairly enough to take out whiteys. On a champion, boss, elite, rare or I don't know what mob, you will basically wait for your demon, and then you walk through the boss and activate all your skills to have the insane damage output. Here's a small compilation of how the gameplay of the Fire Crusader should look like. I hope you enjoyed the guide and learned one or two things about your Crusader. I'm live streaming almost every day on Twitch, so feel free to follow me, username mbXtreme. Also make sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more builds like that. Take care and have a great time.